Boom. Good morning, y'all. Got some bags underneath my eyes. I only got about maybe 4.5, 5 hours of sleep. But I am headed to Home Depot to get 2 cans of satin black spray paint for the steel jumbo toy box that I got. And then I'm gonna head over to Michael's and he's gonna help me finish up painting it, getting all tightened up, and then reinstalling it back in the van, and then that will be done. And then we're gonna work on his van today, do his insulation and his reflectix. But I'm doing a little reflecting this morning, and I kind of want to rap about my celibacy. Being celibate to me has been very important in my healing process over the last 3 or 4 years. It's been very important. It's like I've gained my power back. I haven't been gifting, or I haven't been giving my body to other people through sex or intimacy. And so it will be 4 years, October 23rd. So we've got, what is it? May, June, July, August, September, October. So I'm like 5 months away from 4 years. And, it was really empowering for me, especially the first month of being celibate. And then the second month of being celibate. So then you kind of have like a countdown, like when you're sober. And on top of this, I was sober and celibate the very same day. I stopped everything. And so those are two, they're kind of connected in a way, and then you have like this countdown or count up, or your sobriety date, and then I've meshed the two. This is my celibate date as well. So they're very joined together. And so when I talk about the progress that I've made, becoming a better person and healing myself, those two have been combined. Those two have been together the entire time. And so, I've definitely had opportunities, to be intimate and to have sex with some beautiful, beautiful women that I would never even had a chance to have sex with and be intimate if I wouldn't have been sober. Now, when I wasn't sober and I was on the dating scene and I was going on 6 or 7 dates in a row and sleeping with 5, 6, 7 girls in a day in the casinos, it's just totally different. I wouldn't even consider those opportunities. I would consider those being super dark and hurt and lonely inside. So those weren't opportunities. Those were just kind of using those people for lust and to heal pain and to really just redirect me into to deflect the pain rather than go within and feel it to heal it. And so without a doubt, I have harvested many, many new friendships with women that are just friendships that I would have never ever done, because I was always thinking about, sex. I was always thinking about, just sex. So I've been thinking, that does consume me of keeping my celibacy, just because there is a little bit of fear, even though I'm very confident in the skill set and the tool set that I have created and that I can execute and I can act upon. But there is a little bit of fear within me of losing my celibacy, because I know how I was when I didn't care about my meat vehicle. I didn't care about who I was sharing my intimacy with. I know that human being. I know the way that human being thought. I know where my desires were. I knew how it felt, where my responsibilities were, or my priorities. It was sex, because I'm an addict through and through. So I'm just talking myself through this. And so the work that I've done, I think to myself, okay, so is it maybe time to maybe just have sex? And if I do that, do I want to be in a committed relationship? do I want to have sex with a friend that I already have, that we've nourished and really massaged into a good friendship? And so maybe I could feel safe that way, because then there's trust there. And then, because I think, there's definitely good of being celibacy, and a lot of people maybe see that maybe it's negative of being celibate. But the good is that you're safe, meaning you're not going to hurt anyone. If you're celibate and you're not having sex with anyone, you're not going to hurt anyone. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. You're not going to lead them on. You're just not going to, maybe, when I was having sex with anybody and everyone. It did not matter who you were. If I knew you for a half a ninja second, or if I knew you for a decade back in high school, and then we both wanted to have sex. Basically, I would have sex with anybody that wanted to have sex. For me, I thought that worked out, but it did not work out, because it left me dark inside. It left me empty. I was searching for the wrong attention. And so now, maybe I can turn the volume up a little bit, or flip the switch a little bit, and say, sex is a beautiful thing. And maybe I have missed out on some really good sex that maybe could have enlightened me, because now, my mind is all here, my heart is all here, and so I'm completely opened up. So I will be able to feel sex. I will be able to feel that intimacy. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of fear there, because I know what it's like to be celibate. I know what it's like to lock that down and just to concentrate on what it is that I'm doing. But then again, how long do I need to become celibate? Only I would know that answer. And I wouldn't even be talking about this in public on a live Facebook if it wasn't, me searching for answers and say, okay, well, what's next? Do I keep it locked down? Do I explore? Do I see, okay, maybe open it up, maybe open up my heart, maybe open myself up to some intimacy and to have sex and to see what that feels like now, And, I'll tell you, I have to be very, very careful now, if I was to do that, who I'm going to share my mind, body, my physicality, my being, my energy with. That's one thing for sure that I will definitely be aware of. And that's a beautiful thing, because, I've had sex with thousands of women, and the majority of the time, we're talking like 98% of the time, I was shut down. I was just going through the motions. And I was just being selfish, to be honest. I was pleasing my ego. I was pleasing my desires. I was pleasing my lust. And so, well, then I got to think, okay, so why am I even talking about breaking my celibacy? Is it for the ego? Is it for the ego? Is it because I want to feel good? Is it maybe that I'm going backwards? Or maybe that I'm getting a little bit more freedom with my van, and I'm going to get a house, and I don't have to worry about money anymore because I have the lifetime VA pension? What is making me think this? Maybe that I've grown so much. Maybe I think I'm mature enough now, at 41 years young. Maybe I'm mature enough now, and I've set very high, healthy boundaries that I think it's okay for me to explore, the sexual universe now. Now maybe I'm more mature now. Maybe I'm more ready for something like that. I can have hard no's. I know what it is. I definitely have more of a laser point idea or boundaries of what it is that I desire, what it is that would make me happy, physicality wise, mentally wise, stimulating me with my mind, with our mouth, with our conversation. So yeah, what do you all think? Have you ever been celibate? Why were you celibate? Are you still celibate? And another thing though too that just saying that word celibate, it's like I've done thousands of videos, especially on my old account that got shut down, and I would probably say about 70% of the time I've mentioned my sobriety and I've mentioned my celibacy, because they're joined at the hip. And maybe that has been a burden. Talking about it all the time and attaching it to my sobriety. you know. But then again, it is a superpower too, because being celibate, you do take back your power, you know. Exchanging energies, especially sexual energies, is hardcore. And you know, I didn't really know that when I was in the mix of, you know, all of my sexual casino binge drinking drug induced chaos. You know, but when you exchange sexual energies with someone, especially if it's unprotected sex, even if it's not unprotected sex, you are really, now I don't have any insurance or registration, and there's a cop behind me. So I'm gonna pull a quick little move, and I'm gonna act like I'm pulling over. I will get my license, or I have my license, I will get my registration and my insurance as soon as the DMV opens, but this guy is right on my hip. I'm actually, oh, okay. We're both gonna make it right. So my registration is in my backpack. I don't have it here yet. I don't even have a copy, or no, not my registration. My title is in my backpack. I don't have a copy of it yet. So I actually need to get a copy of my title so I can put it on my visor. And if someone steals my vehicle or my backpack, they have the original title. So that's something I need to do today as well, is get a copy of my title and maybe put the original title in the homeless shelter until I find a new place. I don't want to keep that here. So he's actually, these cops, man, they'd have like these like regular trucks or regular SUVs, and they're like incognito. So back to the celibacy part. I think maybe I shared everything that's going on with me on that. So maybe in a lot of ways it's to the point where it's a burden. It's a burden that I always have to think about it. You know, and maybe I can maintain my celibacy and just not talk about it. You know, because it does set up, it sets up where that sometimes is my main focus of, oh, you know, I can't have sex with anyone. You know, I just need to maintain my celibacy because I know that's what works. I know that keeps me safe. So I just completely turned off that sexual drive. You know, and so that, I know that works for me. I know that works for me because, you know, sex is very, very powerful. And I haven't even really, now that I'm awake, or I think that I'm awake, I haven't really experienced like, you know, like sex. Like I've experienced sex, but I haven't experienced like true, authentic, like raw, authentic, like deep, transcending, like just sex, because I was not awake. And, you know, I first had sex when I was 16. You know, by the time I joined the Navy, I'd slept with like 130 women, and I was 19 years old, and I think that's gross. That's just my past. And then, you know, I was married twice, and in between all those marriages, you know, when you on rebounds, and I would always, pretty much, even when I was married, I was always attached to sex and being under the influence. And that is because of some childhood trauma and not feeling worthy. That's just me. I just didn't feel worthy of exchanging those energies. But when I was numb and under the influence, you know, I could have sex with multiple women at multiple times in multiple days, like, and not even think about it, not even flinch. And so I'm pretty certain that sex is going to be very different for me now. Very, very different. So I just want to put that out there. What do you all think? You know, this is very therapeutic to me. I don't get to see my PTSD counselor in person. And so that's been very helpful, especially with some some childhood trauma. But what do you all think? Help me out. Where are you at in life with your sexual energies, your sexual partners, your sexual relationships? Are you happy with your sexual being, with where you're at sexually? Are you married? Are you with a boyfriend? Are you with a girlfriend? You know? Where are you at? That's what I want to know, because I learn from other people, and then I try to put that into play, and then try to just try to use those tool sets that you gift me, or those tips that you give me. You sharing your experiences, you sharing your story with me in the group, Ridiculously Authentic, you know, and then maybe I can pick up something, a golden nugget, and then try to use that and then see if that works. One thing that I do now for sure is that I try a lot of different things. Even if I fail 1,000 times in a day, I try a lot of things. And then if that works, so if you can offer me a tip, or if I remember something, if you share an experience with you that maybe you're with your husband and you're not sexually being pleased or mentally being pleased, and the intimacy is turned off, and maybe you're cheating and you're drowning inside and you're dark inside, so you're just going through the motions of having sex with this other man that is your husband, but it's not making you happy. You're just you're not tuned in. You're tuned out, but you're still going through the motions maybe to please him. See, I will never do that again. Like, I want to be tuned in at a very high sexual frequency. And, maybe I can do that without being in a full-time commitment. Maybe for me now, I have to be in a full-time committed relationship to even, turn on the volume and to even be engaged in sex. Now, celibacy, I'm talking, I haven't even, there's like no foreplay or anything either. So, for me though, in the past, foreplay was always attached to sex. For me, it was very difficult, almost impossible to have foreplay without sex. That's just my past. So I haven't even dabbled really in foreplay, So maybe I can put a pinky toe out there in the sexual universe and maybe explore some foreplay. Maybe that will be good. And there could be a lot of growing involved in this, because I feel like I'm much more immature. I feel like I'm much more mature. I feel like I've grown so much that I will be aware of what it is that I'm feeling, or much more aware that I'm feeling, that I'm smelling, that I'm touching, that I'm letting in stimulus-wise, because I'm not under the influence. I'm under the influence of harvesting self-love and serving others. And so it will be a completely different experience. So what do you all think? Let me know. Play with me, rap with me. Let me know what you think. I'd really appreciate it. I love you very much. Thank you so much for giving me this time and this platform just to express myself and to reach out to the universe and play with you all. So hopefully you all have a good morning. It is Thursday. It is Thankful Thursday. Today is going to be a big, big day. I have some pretty cool plans this weekend. I'm going to make some funny videos. I lost my glasses. Actually, they're at Rock and Rad Star's house, another Rock and Rad Star's house. I went to another Rock and Rad Star's house for the first time and met her for the first time, and she has them, but it's all the way in Newport Richey. So I like those glasses, the little $5 glasses. So, all right, y'all, thank you very much. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Jane. Hello, Danielle. Hello, Kimberly. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. One of you or all of you, please share this video in the group, because that will start this discussion. I love you very much. Keep it raw. Stay rad. Whoa, whoa.